Hello, everybody. It's probably going to be another unedited one, but this is a shorter one. So I started watching some of this video. This is a system guide trailer, and I'm definitely, well, there's quite a bit to go over. Um, Also, I'd like to talk about how I'll probably put an iCard up here right now about how I completely predicted, well, not completely, but I predicted quite a bit of the gameplay mechanics that were going to be in this game before they were shown off, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty wild because I second guessed myself on a certain mechanic that I thought just wasn't going to come back because I was like super sure that Just Defense were going to come back, and they did come back. But we got this thing. I think it's called hyper defense, which is basically the guard cancel from Real Bout, and we'll check it out. Let me turn it down a little.
Round one. Get ready. Fight.
So, rev system, a lot like the drive system in Street Fighter 6, allows you to use EXs, allows you to use hyper defense, allows you to use, sorry, not hyper defense, rev guard, and hyper defense, I think, allows you to use the break attack, not break attacks, but the SPG attacks. So I think it's called Rev Blow. Rev Blow allows you to use Rev Blow without any sort of without it. What am I talking about? It allows you to use Rev Blow. The meter will go up when you use Rev Blow. It's like the reverse of Street Fighter 6, where instead of you taking from a bar, the bar goes up, and when the bar goes up, you're not allowed to do that. But most of you know that already. I'm looking super forward to playing Kane, by the way. So SPG works exactly like Top, where you get more damage when you're in it, you heal a bit, as well as, something new. Instead of having your top attack, you have your Rev Blow, which works like a, drive impact. And when you use it, it has armor. You can actually end EX moves with it, which is pretty neat. And everyone's Rev Blow kind of works differently from it's not like Drive Impact where they all have the exact same range and all kind of do the same thing. They all kind of work differently, especially the aerial SPGs. I don't know if they're going to talk about it in here and how the normals system works, but people keep calling this an auto combo, but these are like the target combos from Real Bout, where you have a bunch of different ones. And I'm really looking forward to that, because it looks like nobody has really been using them at all in the betas that have been in the past. We'll see. I'm definitely going to use those quite a bit more and try to, and see if there's any legacy ones, like with Terry, when I play the beta. I'm looking forward to the beta quite a bit. As much as I shit on the DLC in my last City of the Wolves video, I'm obviously so excited for the game. And I'm starting to I think I was a little too harsh. Just a little bit. I think I could have given Mr. Big a bit more leeway. So, but even still, I still think Rio would have been a better choice. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about SPG. Rev Blow. This I'm thinking is going to be pretty interesting. At least the interactions with it, especially since you have an aerial one. Now, I'm pretty sure... I don't know what the requirements are with Harry. Maybe you have to end a, like, rising tackle with it, with the aerial version, because it usually does, like, an aerial crack shoot afterwards in the animation. And I hadn't said this in my video, but... Or maybe I did, but... Kane's anti-air fireball is like a direct answer to Shippuken. Or Shippuken is a direct answer to that since it's existed. But basically, it kind of acts like that in this game. EX moves are going over here. They're obviously stronger than normal fireballs, EX fireballs. I'm also kind of interested in the practicality of ending off SPG, because it does require meter, right? Let's go back. Let me double check if it does require meter for SPG. 25. Goes up a little. Okay, it's not a lot. It's 2% for SPG, so it's worth it. Okay. Rev Guard. This is going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to try and use this in matches the best I can. I know it's put onto another button, which will definitely be a little awkward, but I think I'll get the hang of it. But yeah, Rev Guard is just a push block. Pushes you back further and it negates chip, which is pretty neat. That's pretty sick. It's definitely going to be a little bit degenerate. How much does it use? Right? Because I was watching Maximilian Dude's video, and apparently it doesn't go down when you are just holding it out in neutral. But once you actually use it, it actually starts using up the meter. Let's see if we can see it here. Okay, so I pressed the wrong button, my bad. Okay, so... Okay, it does a decent chunk, like a lot, to do that, but you're not getting chipped out, and you're getting pushed back quite a bit further. And from the footage I've seen, Kine seems to have quite a bit of, like, he's got some pretty crazy block strings compared to even other characters. In this game, they already have some pretty decent block strings, but Kine has some crazy shit, it looks like. Which definitely is going to be very similar to how it was in Garo, because his chip game was pretty wild. Overheating. This is like Burnout in Street Fighter 6. Though, unlike Street Fighter 6, your what do you call it, guard bar up there, you can get guard crushed when you're in Burnout. And rep blows, I don't think crush your freaking block. I don't think it's like unblockable, puts you into some sort of thing in the corner. That doesn't happen here. I'm looking forward to trying out Vox quite a bit. Obviously, I've got my day one mains. I've got like 3 day one mains to check out. I'm definitely going to probably play some Terry first, just so I can get like a proper feel of the game. Then I'll probably do Hotaru, then Kine, then Vox, but we'll see. Okay. Several benefits. Form a guard cancel. Okay, sorry. What are we talking about here? I was talking about something. Just defense. JDs, very good. You heal from them. You can immediately cancel the special moves from them. I would usually always just capitalize on doing a JD. So, pretty exciting stuff. Hyper defense. Hyper defense, they say it's like a red parry. It seems a lot like the guard cancel, or the break cancel, whatever it's called. No, I think it's called guard cancel from Real Bout. So, oh, it said guard cancel. Hyper defense, guard cancel. Yeah. So I had predicted, I had sort of brought it up in my video when I was sort of contemplating what City of the Wolves' mechanics would be before they actually got shown off. So it's sort of interesting to think about, because I wouldn't have expected this to come back, just like I wasn't expecting, like, well, obviously I didn't expect the lane switches to come back, and they didn't. So I wasn't expecting something like this to come back. So I thought that's pretty interesting, all things considered. And you can, of course, instantly guard cancel the super. Combination attack. This is what I'm looking at. Press an attack button in a specific sequence to perform a special flurry of offense. And there's multiple of these, I think. Yeah, it works a lot like Real Bout, and that's what I'm excited for. I'm definitely probably a day before I'll probably be practicing some Garo shit. Maybe I'll stream it. Some Garo shit and some Real Bout shit. So look out tomorrow to see if that's a thing. If you're watching this in the past, I'll put an iCard up there. For whatever reason, if you're watching this in the past, I'll put an iCard to the stream. If I stream it. Oh, really? You can do it into the high crush, low crush stuff? Okay. Breaking. Arcade style only. Oh, interesting. You can't break in smart mode. Interesting. Yeah, this is one of the best things from Garo's the break system, and I'm pretty excited for it to be back. Rock had it in 15, as well as the other Garo characters, and Andy somewhat as well, surprisingly. There's multiple characters that had breaks in that game, but it was sort of far and few in between. A lot of them were fake outs. So it's pretty interesting to see them actually have EX breaks, which I think is great, because they give you another juggle point. Fainting. Also arcade style only. How interesting. Okay. Makes sense. Fainting, I'm hoping they make it a little bit more easier to do, at least like smoother as an input than they did in the original Garo, and somewhat of Real Bout. Real Bout feigning, I don't think was nearly as useful as it was in Garo. You could do it with a few characters and have it work, but I don't think that it worked nearly as well as it did in Garo. And yes, there was fainting in Real Bout, but it was mainly faking out people with supers, and some characters had it with special moves, but I couldn't find it with every character, even if the wiki said so. Maybe I just wasn't doing it right, or they just didn't label it right, but some characters just straight up didn't have access to fainting. Right. Faking out moves is such a SNK concept, and I love it. That was one of my other favorite parts about Fatal Fury, is you can fake out your opponent, and it's fucking great. And I was really happy when DJ had it in Street Fighter 6, because you could fake out shit with him, and that shit was pretty cool. Playing mind games with your opponent. Right. Wild Punish is basically Punish Counter from Street Fighter 6. It is probably going to be one of my favorite things they added to this game, because Punish Counter in that game is fucking phenomenal, and it should be in every future fighting game. A counter punish or a wild punish type move, because it just makes so much sense. You punish your opponent and you get like this big thing for your opponent doing something like sloppy, and it's so satisfying to pull off. And they had something similar in Garo, but it wasn't off of punish, it was just off of counter. And I'm definitely looking forward to playing around with this in City of the Wolves. Oh yeah, another thing to mention that's actually different from Street Fighter 6. You can OTG off of it if you trip or do a hard knockdown on your opponent during a wild punish or counter hit. So it leads to some pretty crazy shit. I remember even being able to OTG with some stuff in Garo that I would think I would never be able to, like Rising Tackle. Somehow with Rock I got that. I think it's because the beginning of it starts as a low move. So it's things are going to get crazy. Dodge attacks. Big fan of these. They were sort of underutilized in Garo. I started using them more, and it was actually surprising how good they were. But they're way better in this game, it looks like, because you get a moment to think about it. High and low variation. So how does this one work? Is it just from highs? Okay, it's just straight up that good. This is probably the button I'm going to be using with Hotaru and Kind quite a bit. Probably Hotaru the most, because it pokes such a good distance. I remember using this quite a bit in Garo. So, if I can really just straight up like combination attack and end it with this, then I'm going to have to do some of that. I'm going to see how the combination stuff works when I get my hands on it, but I'm looking forward to that even more so than some of this other shit in the game. Which is a little wild, but I think that this is going to offer quite a bit of fun combo shit. I want to see what Desk does when... I'm hoping Desk will at least do some crazy combo shit. At least from this demo. If not, well, he's definitely going to do something when the game comes out, because he did something for KO at 15, and I can't imagine he wouldn't do something crazy, because this is like combo food, the game. It seems like. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some Hotaru stuff. Ignition gear and redline gear. These are your supers. Only 2 levels of super, but you get a hidden gear super. Red light gears make you invulnerable for a good while, the perfect answer to incoming projectiles. I think that's only the case for some of it. I don't know if it's for all of it, but I know that some supers you will get knocked out of. That's just how SNK supers work. However, I think they're going to do more when it comes to invincibility stuff, just because some stuff that should definitely be projectile invulnerable, because some of it was just absolute bullshit in Garo. Like, you should be able to go through a projectile with Buster Wolf or Shining Knuckle and something like Garo, but you couldn't. And in this game, they do that, and it's sort of perfect. So, yeah. I think you can get whacked out of Power Geyser. Or maybe not, because it starts up quicker because of a sort of time stop thing. Dominating attack that requires 2 power gauge bars in addition to SPG. This is going to be interesting because you're not going to see this all the time, right? This sort of limits what you can do compared to Climax Supers, but I think it's good because obviously refills your fucking EX moves and all your other cool shit. So you're going to have to use it very strategically from what I can tell. I think this super is sick, by the way. I'm excited to try Preacher. Pre-order now, April 24th. I'm looking forward to that. So, in April, we've got Olympia and Rivals, when it comes to stuff I'm looking forward to, and we've got Fatal Fury. So, you know, this is definitely a month for me, you know. So, tell me down below, what system mechanic are you looking most forward to? I know it's sort of a weird thing to say, but for me, it's definitely the combination attacks and the JDs coming back. I think break attacks are great, but those two things are probably things I like quite a bit, is being able to just defend and combination attack. I love the combination attacks in Real Bout, and I just absolutely love the just defense system. It's so cool. It rewards you for like perfect blocking, and then you just immediately can act out of it. And you get healed. It's just like, it's neuron activation. So, thank you to everybody for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. That's my alarm.